Welcome back to the channel. Today we're at the new shop, starting to get everything ready to move over from the old space, but we're gonna do something to this shop that I think every shop or garage needs. So the good old Home Depot had these huge shelves on sale for like half off. They were on clearance. So I got two, my dad got two, but we're gonna crack two of these open today and we're gonna make these suckers mobile. You can see how much stuff you can store on these things. I'm super pumped because right now at the old shop space, there is just stuff everywhere. I mean, every time I work on a project, it's like everything just scatters all over the shop. And I want to try to move away from that, be a little more professional and organized. I think everybody should strive to, want to keep their workspace as clean and neat as they can. I'm not that guy, but I'm going to start trying my best. Anyway, we got to grab the legs to these things because, oh, you can even lock them together. Look at that. That's neat. Look, learning stuff every day. So we're going to crack these open, get these legs over to the old shop, and start figuring out how we're going to make these things mobile. Cutting these open with keys. It shows you how much I've moved in so far here. Went to Harbor Freight and got some casters. Now, they did not have locking casters like I thought they would in the size that I needed. So I got, for each shelf, 2 swivel casters and 2 fixed casters. And I was thinking, I don't really want to put it all on swivels. While it would be easy to move around, it's also easier to tip over because these are like 8-foot tall shelves. So I figured if we went with like a straight up toolbox setup where you got two wheels that are fixed and then 2 that pivot, I feel like we could maneuver it around where we need it to be. Also, you notice probably this right here looks like a banana, so we got to straighten that out. But before I do that, I just kind of wanted to get in here and set these on and just kind of see what they look like. So let me grab something real quick. This is some pretty flimsy steel. I honestly thought it was going to be a little heavier gauge than what it is. But again, we're not going to be loading this down with like heavy stuff like transmissions and engines and stuff. It's going to be for like totes and part storage and stuff like that, mainly boxes. So I got this plate steel and I'm looking at maybe cutting a piece off. It's a 3/16 piece of steel and doing something like that, to help with the, help beef it up down there. But now that I'm looking at it, I wonder if I should go get another piece and maybe do something like this. Nah, the shelves will tie it in. It'll be fine. About as good as it's gonna get. All right, we'll start cleaning up this coating that's on here so we can have something to weld to. Yeah, we're gonna start off with the swivel casters. So I'm just gonna cut this piece a little bit longer than the caster base. Tack welder on there. Might as well make another. Something like that. Safety squint. Safety squint. Get her tacked on there. Just kind of see like what this is going to look like here. I mean, sure, this is probably going to be fine. I mean, I don't really know, but I mean, it's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. Now I'm going to weld this, but I don't want you guys to make fun of my welds because I'm not a welder. Grinder and paint, make me the welder I ain't. Let's go, boys! Woo! And girls. Holy cow. I see what I'm doing here, just leaving a little lip around the whole thing so I can come in here and booger it up. Now listen, I know I'm not a welder, okay? I'm not doing this on a show vehicle. I'm doing it on some shelving, all right? So everybody just calm down. There's no reason to get all defensive in the comments about these welds that are pretty horrendous. Horrendous. I also need to practice welding more, and this is perfect for that. All right, let's see, what was the hardest? Let's start on the bottom. Let's see if we can get a little bit better. You probably need to slow down a little. Okay, that's looking a lot better already. It's just getting that seat time in, you know? So I think I'm just gonna come in and like plug weld these. I don't really think I wanna go and like fully weld it on, just kind of get in that hole there and, you know. I might bump up the welder power a bit because I'm not welding to that thin sheet metal anymore. All right, let's give that a shot. Turned up the welder a bit. Oh my gosh, liquefied it. Yeah, that's the ticket when you're trying to weld some thicker material. Well, you're supposed to like assemble these when they're standing up, but it's got wheels now. So let's see what happens when we do this. Okay. Hey, y'all remember the last time I tried to stand up some shelving and I couldn't? Yeah, buddy! Yeah! Oh my God. That was funny. Or the one time I almost died. Oh no. Trying to build some shelving. This is a little safer. So it wants to roll, but hey, holy cow. All right, dude. That is nice. Let's finish putting this sucker together. Well, there you have it, guys and gals. I have two massive metal movable shelving units, and I cannot wait to put these to use. I'm gonna be moving in the shop very soon, and these suckers are gonna be full. And if you're like me and your space has to do a lot of things, it's nice to be able to have shelving units and toolboxes and tools and things that are mobile, so you can move them out of the way, configure the shop the way that you need to when you're working on what you got to work on, and then you can move everything back. This is going to be so handy. And I got to tell you, it really wasn't too bad of a project because The casters were like $5 each at Harbor Freight. Even though they didn't have the locking casters, I don't think it's gonna be a big deal, but I would like to have that extra assurance that it's not gonna move around. And then again, we got these shelving units on clearance at Home Depot for 200 bones each. And I gotta be honest with you, the quality of these actually really sucks. It's maybe 18 gauge metal and the finish on it is terrible. You could literally scrape it off with your fingernail. I don't see how they sell these for $350. And even $200 is that's a little on the high end. If I knew how junky they were, I might have just stuck with my old wooden shelving unit. Anyway, I digress. I'm nitpicking these things. They are gonna be very handy and they should be able to handle the weight for what I'm thinking I'm gonna be putting on here. Speaking of what we're gonna be putting on these shelves, I got a whole bunch of junk from the other shop that I gotta bring over to the new shop, and having these mobile shelving units is gonna be so super handy to just get things up off the floor, get them out of the way, but also be able to quickly access things if I need them. And that kind of brings me to my second point, and that's I got 2 commercial leases right now, and this was not an expense that we expected to take on. So kudos to Lauren, she's such a supportive wife. And if you guys and gals want to ease her stress, and go on over to yeahbuddygarage.com and buy some super sweet merch, I would greatly appreciate it, especially in these financially tight times. Content's kind of been hurting a little bit because of that, but I think it's gonna be a move for the best. So just hang in there with me. If you like what we're doing at the channel, please consider subscribing. If you have any suggestions on what you think I should do to this shop space, or any suggestions on how to maximize a small space like a garage or a small shop to do automotive work, drop some comments below. I know a lot of guys and gals read through the comments. I read through the comments and I get a lot of suggestions from y'all. So if you have any ideas, again, drop them below. As always, I appreciate y'all hanging around and watching these videos. I'll see you in the next one.